Hi everyone, I hope that you're okay, doing well out there because I know things have been intense lately in many parts of the world. Here at the beginning of 2025, we have barely had a moment to catch our breath and prepare for what is coming. We astrologers have been talking about the coming influences for the past few years. There are several things that I want to highlight now. Number 1, using the Western tropical zodiac, the Dragon's Head, otherwise known as the North Node, is currently 0 degrees of the fire sign Aries. This is perhaps one of the most critical degrees of the entire zodiac, for it holds both the potential for beautiful creations and massive destruction. As the first sign of the zodiac, it is a degree of urgency, and as we will begin to see in recent events, such as the Los Angeles fires in California, this is just the beginning of a series of events to play themselves out in a sort of domino effect fashion. On January 6th, Mars retrograde made its way back into Cancer, the sign of its fall, at the anaretic 29th degree, which also holds a tremendous sense of urgency. As I explained in my book, Psychic Self-Defense and the Zodiac, in the chapter about astrological cycles, Cancer is the sign that relates to the homeland, nations, and national security. Big events that occur relative to this sign tend to affect people financially, and in the worst case scenarios can cause them to be displaced. I've also noticed so many chaotic events taking place with Mars going back into Cancer over these past 3 days that it leaves no doubt in my mind that astrology bears an influence over our worldly affairs. The retrograde effect can literally throw certain things backward. One case in point is that a crime leader in Japan was reportedly caught and admitted to trafficking nuclear materials to sell to Iran. So many things have been going on behind the scenes that most people don't know about, so it only seems like certain events have erupted out of nowhere. For example, in recent years, central banks have begun purchasing greater amounts of gold as if they know something the rest of us don't. The American investor Ray Dalio has been dropping clues for a couple of years about what we can expect economically as a result of the changing world order. He authored the book, The Changing World Order, Why Nations Succeed and Fail, published in 2021. He explains how America has been the dominant world power over the past century, but that we are now in the midst of witnessing a change in its influences. How many Americans have actually been paying attention to China's Belt and Road Initiative in recent years? When you really pay attention to what political leaders are doing and saying, you begin to notice common threads, that many of them are mere puppets being utilized for a huge agenda. The same goes for other highly influential leaders. So, what has this got to do with the astrology of this year? It becomes very obvious once you understand the basic meaning and significance of certain symbols and signs. Ingresses of the 2 major outer planets of traditional astrology will occur back to back toward the middle of the year. First, Saturn will move out of Pisces and into Aries on May 24th, 2025, followed by Jupiter moving out of Gemini and into Cancer on June 9th. These 2 planets both relate to the political powers that be. Mind you, this all occurs during a square between these 2 planets just moved into cardinal signs. Squares are known to be challenging aspects, especially when they involve Saturn. Since the Great Conjunction in 2020, the tension has been building between these 2 supergiants, and now we see the widespread reach of social unrest and anxiety. I won't go into all the details of the other transits of the year because they each deserve their own speech. And also, even without taking into consideration the outer planets that we cannot see, such as Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, all shifting gears, the significance of Saturn starting a new cycle in the zodiac cannot be overstated. I also wanted to drop this quote here from the book, The World Order, Our Secret Rulers by Eustace Mullins. It's beginning to look like the world order is truly about to change in ways that none of us alive have yet seen. And at least from my perspective, it has become increasingly important for us to not only hold close those whom we so dearly love and care about, but to keep our eyes open to rise up against tyranny and to continue to educate ourselves about everything that this world order wants to erase and hide from our view.